Well, hello there. You're a little cheating. I just did like 4 or 5 Sunday Scores videos in a row with no actual cool working on bikes videos. That's crazy. And I'm trying to do the big giant garage sale on Saturday. And I'm gonna do a whole video on that. And Tony Pereira, who did the he's a big frame builder, he does breadwinner cycles, and he's closing down he's downsizing his shop. I went and spent $315 buying some tools from him. And he heard that I might want these Honjo fenders that he forgot to pull out. And he knew I'm like the only guy in the world who wants a bunch of old bike quarterlies. I've had like 3 sets of bike quarterlies given to me, and I've given them all away. Donated them, sold them cheap, and I just got another one. It is thick in there. And I'm like, I don't have any money. He's like, well, just pay me later. Oh, now I got too much stuff and I'm in debt. But he threw a whole bunch of stuff in this big tote for me, and I think I'll put it all out on Saturday and hopefully sell some of it. And I figured maybe we should go through and see what's in here because I have no idea yet. First thing is this nice Tubis, front rack. These are like super light chromoly front racks. Are really the best racks you can get. They're really light. They're really stiff. The multi-mount positions really let you get them on about anything. They go in the front of your bike and just do small front panniers. Your hub goes through here, loops around your wheel. I got one of these. I didn't have the heart to tell him. He wants $50 for it. I didn't have the heart to tell him I got one of these for like $3 the other day. But I think I sold it for only 40 or 50, and it was brand new in the packaging. So maybe someone will want it. If not, I kind of regret selling it. I kind of might want it. I might do this, like a medium-sized walled basket on the front of my touring bike with cruiser bars. Take my dog a little more easier. I did get the little trailer, but I don't know. So I'll put it out. If someone wants to give me at least $50 for it, I'll take it. If not, I will save it for me or a friend. It's supposed to just be these Honjo fenders, but he just kept throwing stuff in. The last second, he's like, hey, you want an extension cord? I have 1 or 2 really long ones. Why wouldn't I want an extension cord? Hey, you want a power strip? I always feel like I need a power strip. I bought a couple of them recently. So yeah, I took an old dirty power strip for all your power stripping. Oh, this looks like a bag of unused Honjo baggies. So new in the bag Honjo fender hardware, Dorema bolts and fender mounting brackets, lots of fender mounting brackets. He probably didn't use these in most of his bikes and has a giant collection of them. Oh, a nice big tall one. I do love me some fender hardware. I used to stock all this stuff when I had a shop. Anything they could sell separately, I stocked, because you never know when you needed it. More brackets, more weird Honjo stays, brackets. A lot of the same flower type Hato front Honjo. This one's really cool. It's got flower right on the label. Looks like maybe it bolts directly to your fender, then it has this bridge with several holes so you can really dial in your fit if you got a tall fork crown, like on a 29er, suspension corrected, A whole lot more of the normal, a whole bunch of these L brackets and some fender brackets. That's cool. Here's a weird box. He put in here fender parts and spares. We gotta see. And it is 500 more of these Honjo fender L brackets. Ooh, another one with a little flower rear. Look at this packaging is so cute, Mr. Honjo. That is so great. I didn't meet Mr. Honjo once. He came into the shop. I don't know if I'm gonna dig to my Instagram to find a picture. He came with the SimWorks guys, took a tour of my shop. He was a super nice guy. He didn't speak any English. Told me to buy all my fenders from SimWorks. But the SimWorks version are shorter for gravel guys and mud, so they give you less coverage, and the Rendo guys give the extra long ones, so your spray shoots forward instead of right up, and mists right back into your face and soaks your Rando bag. And so I didn't really buy that many from SimWorks because they were like 6 inches shorter. The whole point of Honjos is they're extra long. This is just piles of Honjo hardware. It is so much Honjo hardware. Some of it even says Honjo right on it. That's pretty cool. Bunch of long bolts. Stuff is probably not Honjo. cool. I was afraid it was some modern, expensive SRAM thing. I have to pay him back for. I'm like, I don't want to sell SRAM stuff. I don't mess with no SRAM stuff. The shifters are weird, bro. Fender mount thingies we won't use probably ever. That is a very good note and very true. Problem with bike hoarding is you start doing something specific, like you start building all your bikes the same way with the same fenders, the same tricks. You end up getting all this extra hardware. So I always hard mount all my fenders. I never use these rear brackets. You start ending up with tons of rear brackets. These things are handy for other things. You can change the shape and bend them around to other brands of fenders and use them on other stuff. Here are some black fender stays. They look like Portland Design Works, so these must have come off something. A more modern Portland Design Works fenders that are after my time. Yeah, this other bracket looks different and weird, more modern. Whatever. Portland Design Works fenders went from being rare and expensive to they're everywhere for sale cheap now, and they're excellent fenders if you know how to size them, if you know how to install them. So I've been using them. I've been liking them. Here is a black front Simworks Honjo fender. Spare front, it says. It is black. It is wide. It's probably a 650B. H80 650B and smooth black. Japanese aluminum round pattern. No holes, no dents. Simworks logo. This is cool. I mean, you know, what's a fender without a rear? I mean, maybe if you had like an extra cycle. Something hidden and cool. Mwah! Here's a couple bags of stays. $10. They are used. Oh, are they used? They look used and cut down. They're not used and cut down. They look good. Another set for a narrower one. Free stays, aluminum finish, 5mm. It's got an extra Durama and fender brackets. I guess we go through these magazines. They're on top. I think this is the Bicycle Quarterly I'm most familiar with. Might have been one of the earlier issues I got. Volume 12, number 3. It's got the Mitch Pryor S&P Randonneur on it. I believe that's what that is. He did a bunch of batches with Brett Steelman. Mitch made the custom low trail rando forks and the chrome steel racks with detachable lowriders. And Brett Steelman TIG welded up these a little bit more modern rando-y frames. I remember going to Mitch's shop one time. There's 50 of them stacked, like in triangles. You know, a bunch of them dropouts this way and this way in the head tubes. This Brett Steelman could whip out the frames. The map advertisement, the Johnny Coast advertisement, Tensha Studios advertisement, Fellow Classic advertisement. I think this is the issue that made me want to advertise. I don't think we did for another year or two. But I remember all sorts of paperwork in here, handwritten notes. Here's some pictures of this SP Randonneur. What I really liked about Bike Quarterly is Jan Hein would publish the dimensions of the bikes he liked. So when I first started frame building, I was reading his magazine every day because there's tons of frame builder tips and tricks by famous builders, and dimensions and sizing and reasons and excuses for dimensions and sizing, like why you want your bottom bracket drop this low or that low, like what rake and trail really does, and why you want to do this or that. I mean, I lived by this magazine. I made a lot of bikes by this magazine. I'd have to learn that stuff the hard way. So that is uber cool. Ugh. Touring Japan, I remember that one. Oregon Outback, I remember that one. I don't remember which one we have our ad in. I wonder if it's in here. Nope. I think I paid $500. It might have been $1,000 for a full back cover page ad in one of these. God, you'd think I'd remember. I think we might have done a small ad in a couple too. More Bike Quarterlies. Ha! This is the one. Issue number 55, spring 2016. It was like yesterday and a whole other lifetime. So check out my full page back ad from Bike Quarterly. This is sitting on our bar. We borrowed a projector, projected the image on the wall. We spent a couple days with a ladder, drawing on with pencil and painting the thing on by hand with this cool old Irishy crumbling cement wall over crumbling brick. This bike we had sitting up on the bar, so this is like 5 or 6 feet off the ground. This is pretty high up. And then my former roommate, who I built a custom bike for, she came to add work and she added like fake brick texture and tried to make it look more dynamic. I think edited out, lights are hanging down, and edited out the bar. And this is Belladonna's first 650B rando bike. He was doing a bike quarterly kind of bike. I think it's the bike that we really worked on together. I helped him do the full build on it. Did all the mechanical work and mounted the bag and decalier and all that stuff and ordered him all the parts. And I think this is the bike that we decided to go into business together with. So it doesn't say Northern on it yet because we hadn't had a name yet. And I was still working out of Kenton Cycle Repair. But he took this to a handmade show and had some people borrow it and test ride it, and no one liked it because they didn't like old drop bars. They didn't like not drifters because they were modern people, not vintagey people. But it was a cool bike. Sold to somebody eventually. That's fun. Have the issue with our ad in it again. I think this ad got us a few orders. Couple issues, brand new in the package still. Tony's address on them. I remember this issue. 2019. Wow, really? Spring 2019. I closed in the winter of 2019. Probably stopped reading Bike Quarterly like by then. My partner was ragging on it so much. He was just so cool, you know. I was not cool, so I just stopped caring. Got beat down. Anyway, here's a bunch of really old ones. Look at these when it's still just like a little, more like a Rivendell Reader. Little skinny magazine. Volume 1, number 4. That's cool. It's like no cover. This is before I even started subscribing to them. Copyright 2003. Copyright 2003? It's 2024. This is over 20 years old. That's crazy. 2003, I don't even think I was really that into bikes. And I was riding my own bike and trying to learn how to fix it. It was before I even started college. It was before I even started volunteering at a bike farm to learn more about bikes from mechanic friends who were volunteering there. That's wild. I think we started that like 2006 or 7. Bunch more early issues. They're a little bit thicker. Ah! This patio chair, it's like letting water beat up on it every once in a while and it sort of whoop, shoots a bunch right down my butt. Bunch more of these early ones, volume 6. Volume 8, number 4. I think this is the first one I recognized. I recognize that famous photo in black and white on the cover. Maybe use it for a bunch of advertisements. From 2010. Yes, I was reading this by 2010. 2010's the year I went to frame building school. I think I'd started reading this a little bit first. I had a roommate, Rando Theo. He was already into Rando stuff and into vintagey Frenchy bikes, and he got me into it. And we got some old touring bikes, and I convinced myself I couldn't make anything fit right and had to design my own custom bike. And Theo, right around then, it must have been 2009-10, he got a map on the Mitch Pryor batch bikes before the SP bikes. It was still all handmade by Mitch and really cool by Lamb lugs and stuff. And I was like, I will never have $3,000. I can never buy this bike. I was a broke college kid. It really wasn't working at all. I was working like 4 hours a week, going to school like 19 credit hours. And then a grandma who I really didn't know passed away and left my mom some money for us. And it turns out it was about $3,000, so I had already registered for frame building class. I'm like, I'll figure it out. I registered, and then that came through. I'm like, oh, that's really lucky. I don't know what I was going to do to get that money. And that was 2010. A few more bike quarterlies. Oh, I remember this one. Caliphate Carbon 650B. This is one of Jan's friends who does a bunch of his machining, and he also makes a bunch of frames. He makes the dummy axles and tire checkers and dummy cranks and checkers and stuff. He's a cool dude. Han Rossman. Alright, what else we got? Another set of stays, Honjo 80. A black set of really wide H80 stays. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 stays. Okay, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 fenders, but these stays are not for these fenders. Two of them are way too wide. That's what you get buying weird used stuff. Oh, there's some more stuff down here. Maybe it's the right ones. Let's look at some of these fenders. So these are a cool one. I used to order these for people. Honjo H31 45 mil. So these are really good for up to about a 32, maybe a 35 tire, a little shallow. Polished, smooth. Honjo, they got the little It's a very cool fender. Honjos don't come dented or drilled usually. I think I can see a dent in this one in front of the fork crown, which is nice. So they're more work and more money because you have to drill all the holes. But the nice thing is you can put them right where you actually want them, which is nice. Velo orange is a lot easier because they come pre-drilled. The Velo oranges are also several inches shorter. There's just less fender, so that they don't quite give you as much coverage as I really, really want for most nice bikes. Honjo H71 alloy hammered polished. Doesn't say how wide it is. I bet it's about a 45 as well. This is my favorite Honjo because they have the hammered effect and they also have the ridges all the way down, which is really cool. A lot of times we use these on bikes and have the ridges custom painted. So you tape off the rest of the fender and custom paint the ridges to match the frame, which I always thought was really, really a nice touch. But like an extra $100. So these are cool. They're pretty narrow. This would be like a 32 max. It's probably why he couldn't sell these because they're all so narrow and everyone only does like 650B 48s nowadays. H30, these ones are by Simworks. They got the Simworks sticker, which means they're probably a little shorter. Should we hold them up and see? So rear fender to rear fender on my knee. Come on, get even. Oh, not really. Looks like maybe an inch or two. So not that much shorter. How about the front? Yeah, the front on the Simworks actually looks like an inch longer. That's funny. Maybe it's just the 650B stuff was shorter. Maybe specific ones. So that's cool. Nice and long, fully round and smooth and polished. Simworks stickers, very narrow. Probably 28. So you gotta think, some plastic fenders are totally flat, but the Honjos all have this rolled lip. You can see it, so the metal wraps all the way around and rolls up. Those rolled lips are a couple millimeters thick on each side, like 3. See on this side better? Rolled lip. So all of a sudden that's coming into your tire too. So if you have enough height off your tire, it's not going to hit the fattest bulge of your tire. And most guys try and set their fenders 2 millimeters from their tires because they want to get rock stuck and leave stuck and have it make a whole bunch of horrible noise. And then that'll end up putting this just right down the widest part of the tread of the tire. I like to really use like 15 on narrow road stuff, 20 on fat bike, like 2 centimeters of clearance between the bottom side of that fender and the top side of the tire. Like, clearance, man. Anything that can possibly get sucked up in there can get right out of there. Ooh. These ones are a little fatter. These ones say 700 smooth 45, so there's another set of these smooth 45s, the same as the other ones. 700C, so good for 32, maybe a 35, maybe a 38 if you're really pushing it and know what you're doing. Here is a dirty used set. Kind of the same one, so they have the smooth, but like the ridges and stuff, kind of old car fender style. Say Honjo right on them. A little bit dirty, stays are already cut down. A little bit pre-bent, which is important. I like to bend my fenders. I'll show you guys how to install these, and I'll show you a couple really good tricks. Because I want this to come up and kiss the dropout. Just sit right against there before I put the bolt in. No tension. If you have them sticking out like 2 inches, you can force them in, and put your fenders under tension, and if someone bops or bangs one, or someone sets their bike against yours, and it pushes everything, goes wong, and moves over and is rubbing your tire, and it's a big nightmare. What do these say? Is this packaging correct? says 650N Smooth 366R, 62 millimeter, no hole, no dent. W62. I don't know. I think these are probably 650B, and they're real wide. You could probably get a 48 under here if there's enough clearance, but they're really probably designed for 42s. The old style bracket on the back, which is nice. It's just a little, so a lot of these use little diorama's which stick way out. This is just a little flat bracket, so you barely have any toe overlaps. You're not going to kick in the diorama's on tight bikes. So this is nice. Corey Fish old fenders. Corey Fish, I have your old fenders. These are great. I'm going to save these for me. I think I'm going to put these on the 650B conversion that I'm going to do on the old 1960 Allegro. I love scoring cheap and free stuff for that. Here is another set of the fenders. These are the narrow ones. Good. We needed those. This is the packaging that come in if you ordered them from Euro-Asia, or maybe if you ordered them from Rainier Hurst. I was getting them all from Euro-Asia, then Compass started carrying them and making their own special versions of stuff, and they were closer. We ordered so much from Compass anyways. Started mostly getting from Compass. Here's another set. 31, free stay, finish. These are narrower too, so good. We have all the narrow stuff. This has the full hardware kits, all the bolts, diorama's, everything in it, which is good because most of these other ones don't have all the bolts and diorama's and everything. Yeah. I guess most of them do. Okay. Okay, most of them have all the hardware. Cool. Cool beans. Ooh, and one bonus. Rainier Hurst, which is Bicycle Quarterly, which started selling parts as Compass Cycles, which then bought the name Rainier Hurst. This is their specialty little dioramas. So these are round and polished. They're like a JP Weigel mod, and they started having someone in Japan make them. I'm not sure they're actually having Honjo make them directly. They're working with Sugino, they're working with Nitto, working with some other companies in Japan and Taiwan. But these ones are really cool because they have like a dimpled cup that goes on the back side. So you drill an oversized hole, instead of having this whole diorama stick all the way out where you can kick it, it sucks right up into your fender, and all the bolt and hardware is on the inside, which again, that's why you need that 2 centimeters clearance, because you got a centimeter of hardware on the inside. So it just tucks your U-stays and your hardware real tight into the fenders. And it's really cool, especially for toe clearance on bikes with big fat tires and big fat fenders. All that stuff's got to go somewhere. And they get longer cranks and longer toes. Cranks and toes and fat tires and fenders. Something you're trying to turn and you're whacking your fender dioramas and stuff. Tony also gave me this nice Rubbermaid container it came in. He's really trying to get rid of the stuff. So this is this nice score, and I'm going to put most of these magazines and most of these fenders for sale. I'm going to mark them up a little bit and hope I get it. Worst case, I can sell them down to this price. And then I got to pay Tony, I think he wanted $240 for all this stuff, but then he said he sold some fenders and he threw in some more stuff. I don't know. Hoping he'll take $2 or $210. Hopefully I can make $200 off these and keep those used ones for myself. And a bunch of this extra hardware. I love hardware. So that is this video. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going through my stuff. I spent like 8 hours a day for like 4 days straight going through my stuff. I got a giant overflowing shoebox of free stuff. I got like 2-3 shoe boxes of free stuff basically. A giant overflowing box of stuff. I'm gonna put like cardboard out on the ground. I'm gonna write on it huge free. I'm gonna put cardboard on the ground, write on it huge $2 to $5 best offer, and put a bunch of stuff on. I'll put one out that says $10 or best offer. Just have big cardboard tables in the grass basically with just piles of shit everywhere. And then I got a few little tables used to swap meet, and I'll flip some of these bins upside down, use them for tables, and I went through and priced a bunch of stuff. So I got one big box on the end, which is mostly stuff from that guy's hoard I paid $500 for, and I don't think I have this stuff priced out anywhere near recouping my $500. Yeah, I should have talked him down more. Feeling a little buyer's remorse about it, but got the XTR wheel set and rear derailleur if I can get. Hoping $200 for that. I only gotta sell the rest for $3 to make my money back. I'm not gonna make a lot of money on it. I'm gonna waste a lot of time, but I got a lot of cool stuff. So I put a bunch of his stuff out, a bunch of them for kind of real money, hoping I can avoid, you know, like less than I'd sell it on eBay, but eBay is almost 20% seller's fees, plus they report everything to taxes now because of Joe Biden. Thanks, Joe, really helping us poor people out. You gotta sell stuff on eBay for so much money, and I just can't do it. No one's buying. My eBay's been so slow again. I picked up, I had a couple $600 weeks, and it's been $300 weeks in a row, but then I did like $240 in the last day and a half, so I'm like, come on, eBay, pick up. I try and sell stuff cheap, so I'm gonna try and buy it real cheap. So some of the stuff's definitely lower than eBay prices. Hopefully somebody will buy it. If not, I'm gonna go put it on eBay for more. But I think that's gonna be this video. Just talking about getting the swap meet ready and showing off this new horde of stuff I got from Tony's, you know, breadwinner downsizing sale 2.0 or 3.0. The leftovers. I might do a Sunday salvage sale. I think they said they're gonna move it to 9 a.m. for the summer because this is too hot. I don't know if I can recover, get all my stuff in from Saturday and get to salvage sales by 9 on Sunday. I'm sure I will, because I really love hoarding stuff even though I just can't get rid of it. And then we're going to get back to Avery's bike that I got the salvage sales for $40 last week, 2 weeks ago. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to clean it up, take the fenders off, fix the flat, put cruiser bars on it, make it a 1x. It's 1x8. It's 8-speed now, but it's got a 9-speed derailleur. Somebody upgraded the rear derailleur, put a Dior on, nicer brakes. Gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it a 1x9. Even though it's like, let's keep that stuff. Like, but I got a 9-speed Dior derailleur, and my friend Krishna, he's got some 9-speed Dior V-brake levers. They're in minty that he wants to trade me for some regular pole flat bar levers. So I want a Dior V-brake levers, Dior thummy, Dior rear derailleur. I got a cool little bash guard. I'm gonna show all this stuff. Next week we're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna do something cool on that bike. And then he's probably gonna upgrade it later. He's probably gonna buy nicer, fancier tires and dynamo wheel and lights and do some cool stuff. So that is coming. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the garage sale video. I'm gonna try to do a lot of video for that. Make a good video, not just like 2 pictures and me talking about stuff. And maybe another Sunday salvage sales video. So much stuff. And we'll do some builds. And I have like 4 real projects that I want to do real bad. I'm trying to find time for. We'll do another fixed gear. We'll do a city bike out of an old touring bike. We'll do more dynamo. And we're going to do this Allegra. And the Allegra, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to braze some braze-ons on. We're going to do some frame mods. It's going to be cool. So thanks for watching.